With the 15th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Washington Redskins select Dwayne Haskins, quarterback, Ohio State.
Dwayne Haskins had an awesome 2019. After getting drafted, he signed a contract for $14.5 million over 4 years with a signing bonus of 8.5. Now, all that money's guaranteed. So, Spencer, why in the world are you making a video about how Dwayne Haskins can go broke? How in the world can you spend that much money? Well, I'm going to break it down, and hopefully after this video, you can get a pretty good idea of how these athletes can go broke so quickly.
Whose money is this? I just got here. This is not mine.
NFL salaries, the signing bonus number you see is actually paid out immediately. So the $8.5 million that he made as a signing bonus actually gets paid to him right away. And he also made a base salary of $500,000. So let's just call it $9 million even. And after taxes, you can expect to only keep about $4.5 million, which, wow, Spencer, that's so much money. That is enough money where I could live the rest of my life. Well, as you'll see in this video, Dwayne is already in the spending mindset, and you'll see how he's buying things that do not make money.
The first thing I bought after I saved my money is make sure you save your chicken. I got myself a car and my mama house. I got myself a Bentley Bentiaga. It's a very nice car. I got a custom matte black, red interior. It's my baby, called the Batmobile. It's my favorite car. And you can see that car right here. And the interior right here. That car, $250,000.
And of course, the first purchase is a $250,000 car, a Bentley. The issue I have with the Bentley is that it's custom made. Now, it's a beautiful car. Hopefully, it is the best car he'll ever drive. The problem is the second you buy something like that, just to maintain it, any issues with the maintenance, any issues with repairs, the gas, insurance, all of that, registration, it is expensive to maintain. Now, when you're making $4.5 million a year, $800 registration, $100 to fill up, $1,000 for this, $1,000 for that, doesn't seem like much. The problem is when that income dries up, you still have the Bentley that is supposed to be driven by someone who makes a lot of money, and it's hard to maintain. Keep in mind, with anything custom made, could be a dangerous game, because most people that can afford these luxury items, the jewelry, the houses, the cars, they want their own luxurious item to be customized in their favor. So whenever someone like Dwayne gets something custom made, it has a chance, not always, has a chance to devalue the product. We'll see that with jewelry in just a minute. But with the Bentley going custom, that certainly looks great. Don't get me wrong. I think that's an amazing looking Bentley. But you're talking about a $250,000 vehicle that the second it's driven off the lot, it's probably worth 60 or 70% of that immediately. And let's say he drives it for the entirety of his rookie contract. You know, that thing, there's no telling how much that car will devalue in the 4 or 5 years he spends driving it.
I'm not buying no more cars. Not a very great investment to buy cars. They depreciate with value. If you're gonna buy a car, make sure you're comfortable with what you're buying.
See, Dwayne already knows it. He's already talking about depreciating value. That is what a car does. It depreciates immediately. It is not an asset. It does not make you any money. Now, of course, Dwayne's going to make a lot of money in his career. Not everything needs to be, how can this make me money? But when you're first starting out, if he took this money, he's, 22 years old? If he took the money and invested it, in 4 years, he could be driving a Bentley based on his investments.
I always wanted to get my mom a house. That's like something a lot of athletes want to do for their mom. You know, my mom sacrificed a lot for me growing up, and being able to take care of her is something that was really important for me.
How much was the house that you bought your mom?
There's not enough on the table. That would be the rest of all this money, so $750,000. My mom's house was $750,000.
A lot of these athletes buy their parents' houses, which I think is very commendable, and the parents put them in position to win. They took care of them for their first 18, 19, 22 years of their life, whatever. And I think it's a good idea to buy your parents a house. Now, he mentions a $750,000 house, $750,000. Let's take it at face value. I looked up where Dwayne's from, Highlands Park, New Jersey, and I went on Zillow and just got an idea of what are the property taxes. And one thing I want you to keep in mind when these athletes purchase houses is that it's not just a one-time expense to buy the house. A $750,000 house in this area has property taxes upwards of $20,000 per year. Anywhere from $14,000 to $20,000 is what I saw. Just a couple examples. And the insurance is going to cost money too. There's going to be maintenance. There's going to be repairs. You need utilities. This is in the high end. You might have high HOAs. There are so many expenses that go with owning a house, especially one that is this high end. So if you think about it, if you're making $2, $3, $4 million a year, 30 grand a year in taxes and insurance might not sound like much. But the second that income goes to zero, you still have to maintain this stuff. So between the Bentley, his mom's car, whatever house he buys, let's just assume it's similar. Like you're talking about potentially 100 to 150 grand a year just in maintenance of the lifestyle that you used to have.
I always wanted to go out the country. I have not gone yet. Declaring from the draft, right from college, just training, and then hopping right into the NFL season, there's like literally no time to go anywhere. But I'm going to the Bahamas soon. Trip coming up next month. 10 bands, vacation money.
10,000 for a vacation. There we go. That's just the first vacation. This kind of behavior will continue. He's going to take not one vacation, but maybe next year he goes on two. Maybe he goes on one during the season. 2 or 3 might be $20,000 to $30,000 a year. Doesn't seem like much when you're making $9 million that first year. But what happens when your career ends short and you can't keep spending like that? That is the problem. They keep spending money because this is the lifestyle. You're an NFL quarterback, professional athlete, musician, making a lot of money. You can live this lifestyle, but it can't last forever.
I bought some jewelry. I got some on right now. Shout out to Gabe. I got me 1 or 2 watches. Something I got on right now. The Tech Philippe. I bought it bust down already. It's just like a chandelier. This watch can be worth over $100,000. I did not pay that much for this watch though. I gotta pull up my receipts. It's say like $60K for the Patek.
What about the chain? How much was the chain?
Another 10. Chain.
$70K on jewelry. Whew. Jewelry is not something I'm a fan of. I do not like it. I'm just not an accessories guy. I don't like watches, jewelry. I'm just not a fan. Now, I'm not going to hate on that. Some people like it. That's kind of their wardrobe. But 70 grand. And what I mentioned earlier with the Bentley, and what becomes an issue with a lot of these players and athletes, musicians, they get this custom jewelry made with their initials or something emblematic of their brand, just like he did with the DH on his necklace. Now, how much do you think that's worth when he might want to sell it or when he's no longer interested in wearing it? Who in the world wants to buy a custom-made jewelry piece from someone else? So how much is it really worth? Well, it's worth significantly less than you pay for it, and that's the issue. You start spending tens of thousands of dollars on this jewelry, and it's immediately worth very little. A lot of these guys love to wear fancy watches. That's a personal preference. I personally don't like it. I'm not a jewelry guy, so I'm not going to hate on it. I think dressing really nicely, wearing these nice accessories, for some people it helps with their confidence, which can absolutely affect their career positively. So I'm not going to hate too much. It's just, $70K of jewelry, this kind of spending won't stop. A lot of these guys will keep spending money on jewelry every year.
You gotta be drippy. So I got a couple nice clothes. I got a personal shopper now, and I don't go to the mall anymore. Having somebody I can just text and I want to get this shirt. I saw this shirt here, and being able to buy it for me. I gotta buy suits. Suits was something I had to buy for the season. Being a quarterback, bought like 4 or 5 suits, tailor-made, 10.
10 grand on the suits, smart purchase. A guy like this is going to be in the limelight. He is going to have a lot of interviews. He's going to be seen on video showing up to the arena or the stadium. He's going to be showing post-game. You're going to want to dress nice. This absolutely affects your career positively. 10 grand is an expense I think he should spend every year to make sure he looks really sharp. If
I had to say clothes, everything like that, first year, I'm like 40,000.
Now the extra 40 grand, I have no idea where that comes from. I'm not a real well-dressed dude, so I don't really know the prices, but it just seems outlandish to spend that much money on clothing. Seems like you can dress really nicely and have a lot of outfits available for much less, but maybe that's the price to be a high-end person like him in that type of income class, that you're going to spend that much money on clothes. I don't really have an opinion on it. I think it's too much, but if you can justify it, that makes sense.
I got a funny story. So I'm training in LA. I'm working out with Deshaun Watson and a few other friends, Deshaun Kaiser and Manny Wilkins, with my quarterback coach, Quincy Avery. And we're playing a game, and we're like, whoever loses has to buy dinner tonight. So unfortunately, I lose, right? We go to some restaurant, and they run the tab up on me crazy. First of all, it was supposed to just be us 4. They invited friends, family, cousins. It was like almost 15, 20 people at the table. I'm like, there's no way I'm paying for all this food. It was like almost $10,000. I was pissed, so I didn't bet with them no more.
This story is a really good example of what type of lifestyle these guys live. Now, it's certainly not the case every night that he's going out and spending 10 grand, but keep in mind that these types of stories happen all the time. When you are the man, you are the guy with the empty or the large pockets in the group, you've got the paycheck that can pay for everyone. People are always going to be expecting you to pay. So you'll find that guys like this will constantly be going out with friends, family, extended family, and they're the one asked to pay for the check. And sure, that may happen once a year, but little $1,000 meals, $1,500, $3,500, this stuff adds up over time. And you don't really notice it when you're bringing in the big bucks. When the $4.5 million is hitting your account each year, it doesn't seem like much. But again, if this is the lifestyle you're becoming accustomed to, what happens when the income hits zero?
Oh, okay. Another thing happened. Rookie dinner. That's like a real thing in the NFL. Offensive linemen, we took them out to eat, and of course they ordered all the appetizers, all the steaks they can get. They do not want to go to Applebee's. They want to go to the best steak place that they can find. That was an expensive bill too. It's something you want to do, take care of your linemen. They block for you, take care of you, keep you off the dirt, and I'll do it again if I have to.
Yep, another story of him spending a lot of money on food. This is common for the quarterback to treat his teammates who help protect him and help make them the players that they are. Again, this is the lifestyle. Spend a lot of money here and there. I mean, can you imagine spending 10 grand a night on food? You just go out one night and spend 10 grand? That's bizarre to me.
Shout out to Corey. I have like a whole bunch of like murals and like motivational things. I got a weight room. I have like 5-6 different paintings. Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson. I got a Kobe mural. I got a whole like poker table of like my favorite rappers with Scarface. It's like Jay-Z, Nipsey, J. Cole, Biggie, Tupac. It's a dope piece. He didn't charge me that much. So I'll probably say another 10 of Corey to paint my basement.
That artwork is pretty dope, not gonna lie. It's cool. There's only personal value since the pictures are some of him and sounds like maybe it got custom made. So I think that's pretty cool. If it adds to his apartment and he really enjoys where he lives, not a dumb expense.
Being in the NFL, of course, you have family members that you want to look after and a couple friends that you grew up with. Biggest thing I learned is how to say no, because people will ask for a lot if you let them.
He's already realizing how many people are going to start asking for money. And right now it's probably just the closest family, the uncle that helped raise you, the basketball coach. But what happens when it becomes the distant friend or the friend that you used to grow up with who's got the great business idea? What happens when it's your grandmother who's sick and she needs some medical bills paid for? Unfortunately, the family is going to be really expensive, and there are some really ugly examples of some of these athletes having to deal with family that are really, really adamant about earning what's theirs and excess amounts. And it's really unfortunate. And it sounds like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Hopefully he doesn't fall victim to that.
I took care of my sister. I helped her go to school, stuff like that. Something that I feel like was important for somebody to move forward with their life. I helped them with. She got a scholarship to SCAD. I need 50. Degree money, sir. Going to my sister.
That's pretty commendable of him to pay for his sister's college. I think that's a great expense. Take care of your family. It's going to help her tremendously in her career. Good job, Dwayne.
Let's push all this money in for taxes. Ouch. That hurts. Yeah, this is all taxes.
Now, he seems to think that only $500,000 went to taxes. That is a gross misrepresentation of the amount that he actually paid. Again, he earned probably $9 million in 2019. He's definitely paying $4.5 million, especially living in Washington, D.C., playing games across some of the biggest state income tax brackets. Because remember, when these guys play the NFL, they play their games at different states. You pay the income tax in those states, the state income tax. Dwayne will earn a lot of money. Maybe he goes on and has a very long career in which he earns 30, 40, 50 million, which is legitimately hard to spend. But the one takeaway I want you to have from this video is to see these guys' lifestyles. This is just the expenses that he shared with us. This is not all of his expenses. This is just his first million. This is not how much he actually spent in 2019. This will continue. Remember, once you have a year, 2 years, 3 years of getting these paychecks, you become more comfortable with spending that amount of money. And he will. And if you aren't spending money on investments, you're just spending money on liabilities. It's great when the money's coming in, but some of these guys only last 3-4 years. There might be an ugly injury. Something could happen where maybe your career's cut short. Your team no longer wants you. Anything can happen, especially in the NFL where they cut them just, man, it's brutal. Some of these guys will be under contract. They'll just get cut and they're done. Their career is done. So what happens when your income goes to zero? And after their careers, a lot of these guys get sucked into friends having businesses. They want to start their own restaurant. They go back home where they're the man. They were the all-state guy. The town or the neighborhoods love him. He goes back and buys houses. Maybe he starts a business that doesn't work out. This happens. Very unfortunate. But I'm trying to make this video to hopefully, maybe there's an athlete out there that'll watch this and realize that you should be spending money on assets that make you money from the start. Even if you want to live this $1 million lifestyle, it is better to buy assets that help make you money and will help fund some of this lifestyle in the future with the dividends. I hope you learned a lot from this video, and if you enjoyed it, let me know. I'd love to keep doing this type of series where we can analyze people's finances. Thanks again for watching.